Hey, this is Super Game Ghost, and you're watching the 10 most underrated PS2 RPGs. Let's start.
Number 10.
Atelier Iris Eternal Mana is a traditional JRPG developed by Gust. It was first released in 2004. This game marked the Atelier series' debut on home consoles outside of Japan, and is the first installment in the Atelier Iris games. The game is set in the world of Regelzine, where alchemists are rare and revered. Players control Klein Kiesling, a young alchemist searching for the secrets of alchemy. Klein meets Lita, a spunky girl with her own mysterious backstory, and together they uncover the secrets of the decaying state of alchemy in their world. Eternal Mana is a nice little traditional turn-based JRPG with some unique mechanics. Unlike traditional top-down JRPGs, most of this game is presented in an isometric point of view, much like Super Mario RPG. Also, like Super Mario RPG, you have the ability to jump while exploring towns and other areas in order to get to treasures and other items located on higher platforms. Some standout features for this game are its alchemy system, which allows for synthesis of various items, its charming characters, and the whimsical tone of the story. Though it didn't attain much mainstream recognition, Atelier Iris Eternal Mana was successful enough to spawn 2 direct sequels: Atelier Iris 2, The Azov of Destiny, and Atelier Iris 3, Grand Phantasm, which were both also released for the PS2. Eternal Mana's success helped establish the Atelier series in the West, which led to many subsequent entries on newer platforms.
Number 9.
Eternal Poison is a strategy role-playing game developed by Flightplan. It was first released in 2008. Known as Poison Pink in Japan, the game is a turn-based tactical SRPG. I'm a huge fan of strategy RPGs, with the original Final Fantasy Tactics being one of my favorite games of all time. The game itself features multiple intertwining story arcs, each focusing on a different protagonist and their quest in the cursed kingdom of Besic. Players can choose whose story to follow, with each arc offering new perspectives and challenges. A key gameplay feature is the ability to capture and enslave Majin during combat. Captured Majin can be used in future battles or sacrificed to enhance weapons and items. Standout features for this underrated RPG are its gothic art direction and dark fantasy world, the ability to capture and use Majin in battle as a unique and engaging mechanic, and its replayability thanks to the game's branching storylines.
Number 8.
Wild Arms 3 is a turn-based role-playing game developed by Mediavision. It was first released in 2002. This game is the third main entry in the Wild Arms series, which is known for its unique combination of high fantasy with a western frontier setting. The original Wild Arms game on the PS1 was one of the very first RPGs I've ever played. It really holds a special place in my heart, so it's nice to see that many recurring mechanics and conventions from the original made it into Wild Arms 3. Battles are turn-based and revolve around the use of arms and guardian forces. The force system allows characters to build up meter during combat to perform powerful special abilities or summon guardians. Each character has a customizable skill grid, allowing players to allocate points to learn new abilities or boost stats. Wild Arms 3's standout features include the unique blend of Western and JRPG elements, its intriguing characters, and a story that balances humor, drama, and mystery.
Number 7.
Steambot Chronicles is an action-adventure RPG developed by Irem. It was first released in 2005. Known in Japan as Bumpy Trot, the game combines sandbox-style exploration, mech-based combat, and a focus on player choice. The central feature of the game is the use of Trotmobiles, customizable steampunk-inspired mechs. Players can modify their Trotmobiles with various parts, including weapons, engines, and attachments to suit different playstyles and challenges. Trotmobiles are used for exploration, combat, transportation, and even odd jobs like hauling cargo. The game is heavily focused on moral choices, with players deciding whether to act heroically or selfishly in various situations. Choices impact the storyline and relationships with characters, leading to different endings. Standout features for this game include the open-ended structure and variety of activities, the ability to customize trotmobiles, and its creative world design.
It looks like the ship was called the Juniper Berry, but it's a mess.
Number 6.
Front Mission 4 is a tactical role-playing game developed by Square Enix. It was first released in 2003. The Front Mission series focuses on turn-based mech combat, while its story revolves around political intrigue and military strategy. Players alternate between two parallel storylines with different characters, factions, and locations. Each story offers unique missions, units, and perspectives. The game is divided into linear, story-driven missions with opportunities for players to prepare, train, and customize their squad in between. Players control squads of Wanzers, mechanized combat units on grid-based battlefields. Players can extensively customize their Wanzers, swapping out body parts, arms, legs, and weapons to optimize for specific roles like melee, ranged, or support. Standout features of Front Mission 4 were the deep Wanzer customization system allowing players to tailor their units to their preferred playstyle, the Link system, which was an innovative addition to the series' tactical combat, and the dual storyline structure offered a rich narrative experience.
Number 5.
Tales of the Abyss is an action role-playing game developed by Namco Tales Studio. It was first released in 2005. It is part of the long-running Tales series. The game is often praised as one of the strongest entries in the series. The game is set in a world where sound, referred to as the phonons, govern life and technology. The protagonist, Luke, is a young nobleman confined to his family's manor after being kidnapped as a child. When a mysterious woman named Tyr arrives, a chain event sends Luke on a journey of self-discovery. The combat in Tales of the Abyss occurs in real time, with characters moving along a 2D plane to attack, defend, or use abilities. Players control one character in battle while the others are managed by AI with customizable behaviors. Tales of the Abyss's standout features include the fast-paced combat system, the main protagonist's character arc, and the game story, which offers a well-rounded balance of humor and deeper emotional bits. Tales of the Abyss remains a beloved entry in the Tales series, and there was both an anime and manga adaptation made of it. It was even re-released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2011.
Number 4.
Rogue Galaxy is an action role-playing game developed by Level 5. It was first released in 2005. Known for its vibrant art style and expansive world, Rogue Galaxy is set in a sprawling sci-fi universe. It follows Jaster, a young adventurer who dreams of leaving his desert planet to explore the stars. Jaster is mistaken for a famous bounty hunter and joins the crew of the pirate ship Dorganart. Combat takes place in real time on the field without transitioning to separate battle screens. Players control one character at a time while the AI handles the others. A stamina meter governs basic attacks, so blocking and conserving the stamina meter is an essential part of battles. Each character can wield two types of weapons, both melee and ranged, and they have unique abilities which are unlocked via the Revelation Flow system. The standout features in Rogue Galaxy are the seamless real-time combat system, its vibrant visuals and large varied environments, as well as the weapon synthesis and Revelation Flow systems which add greater depth to character progression. Unfortunately, Rogue Galaxy was released in 2007 outside of Japan when most gamers were transitioning into the new console generation. So really, it went under the radar of most gamers, which is a bit sad since it is a very well made RPG. However, Level 5, the studio behind Rogue Galaxy, would at least later find success in their popular Yokai Watch and Professor Layton series.
Number 3.
Shadow Hearts is a turn-based role-playing game developed by Saknoth. It was first released in 2001. It also serves as a pseudo-sequel to the 1999 game Koudelka, since it shares many plot-related and stylistic traits. Set in an alternate version of the early 20th century, the game combines historical events with supernatural elements. The story begins when Yuri Hyuga, a Harmonixer, which is a human capable of fusing with monsters, saves Alice Elliott from a mysterious group pursuing her for her spiritual powers. Their journey spans Europe and Asia, uncovering a plot involving dark sorcerers, secret societies, and ancient gods. Battles are traditional turn-based, with each character taking actions like attacking, using magic, or defending. The Judgment Ring system adds a timing-based mechanic to actions, requiring players to press buttons at specific moments to maximize effectiveness. Missed inputs can lead to weaker attacks or outright failure. The protagonist Yuri Hyuga can transform into powerful fusion monsters by absorbing the souls of defeated enemies. Fusions grant new abilities, stat boosts, and elemental advantages, and players can customize Yuri's arsenal of transformations. Fun fact is that Yuri's character was in fact inspired by the main protagonist, Akira Fudo, from the Devilman manga. The standout features for Shadow Hearts are the Judgment Ring system, which added an interactive element to the traditional turn-based combat, and its dark, mature narrative and horror-inspired setting, which sets it apart from many other RPGs. Unfortunately, Shadow Hearts was overshadowed by the much more anticipated RPG FF10, which came out less than a month after Shadow Hearts' June 2001 release. So you can probably chalk this one's underrated status up to bad timing.
Number 2.
Castlevania Curse of Darkness is an action RPG game developed by Konami. It was first released in 2005. Set in 1479, 3 years after the events of Castlevania 3, the game follows Hector, a former Devil Forge master who served Dracula but abandoned his master to live a peaceful life. Hector returns to Dracula's domain to seek revenge against Isaac, a fellow Forge master who manipulated events leading to the death of Hector's beloved, Rosalie. Players engage in fast-paced, real-time combat against hordes of enemies using a variety of weapons. Weapon types include swords, spears, axes, knuckles, and many more. Players can craft new weapons and equipment using materials dropped by enemies. The game also features large, interconnected 3D environments that players explore in a semi-linear fashion. Key areas are unlocked as players acquire new abilities and progress through the story. A central gameplay mechanic involves summoning innocent devils, creatures that aid the protagonist in combat and exploration. Innocent devils fall into various categories, such as melee, flying, magic, and healing. Each innocent devil has unique abilities and evolution paths. Players collect evolution crystals to influence their growth, resulting in different forms and powers. The standout features for Curse of Darkness include the Innocent Devil system, which adds a fresh layer of strategy and variety to combat and exploration. The weapon crafting system, which gives you access to a huge amount of unique and interesting weapons and armors to choose from. And of course the gothic atmosphere and art direction, which captures the essence of the Castlevania series. The only thing that really detracts from this title are the level designs, which were somewhat repetitive and lack the intricate layout seen in many other Castlevania games. However, this is really the best 3D Castlevania game. Though it isn't as good as Symphony of the Night, it's definitely just as good as the Castlevania games that came out on handheld consoles post SOTN.
Number 1.
Radiata Stories is a role-playing game developed by Tri-Ace. It was first released in 2005. Radiata Stories features a vibrant world with a unique branching storyline and comedic tone that sets it apart from other RPGs. The game does an exceptional job of combining lighthearted humor with a surprisingly deep narrative, and it offers players extensive freedom in both exploration and character recruitment. Radiata Stories is set in a medieval fantasy world where humans coexist, often uneasily, with other races such as elves, dwarves, and fairies. The main storyline follows Jack Russell, a brash but kind-hearted young man who dreams of becoming a knight like his father. The story begins with Jack joining the prestigious Radiata Knights, but quickly evolves into a conflict between humans and non-human races. About halfway through the game, players face a significant choice that splits the story into two distinct paths. Each path leads to unique missions, endings, and characters available for recruitment. Speaking of which, the game features over 175 recruitable characters, each with their own backstory and unique abilities. Another interesting feature in Radiata Stories is how the world operates on a 24-hour clock. NPCs and recruitable characters follow daily routines, and you can find them in different areas depending on what time of day it is. Shops, events, and other interactions also depend on the 24-hour clock system. Battles occur in real time when encountering enemies. Players directly control the protagonist Jack, while other party members are AI controlled. Combat involves simple attacks, combos, blocking, dodging, and special skills. Standout features for Radiata stories are the character recruitment system and branching storyline, its overall humorous and lighthearted tone, as well as the detailed day-night cycle which made the world feel alive. This game has all the charm of the earlier Star Ocean games, but it's repackaged and set in a medieval fantasy world. An extremely underrated game that's definitely worth at least one playthrough, especially for those looking for a break from the more serious and dark subject matters that are most commonly found in today's RPGs. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos.